The concerts are going to be so lit.
Let me get a loan.
Pretty much, 20K too, because I'm not doing no nosebleeders either. That is one quarantine pact I made.
Exclusive limit.
Yep, girl. Right.
I want the VIP shopping experience.
Absolutely. We were robbed of 15 months of concerts. Girl, you're the intro.
Am I?
Yeah,
okay.
You always lead in.
It's Mikey.
And it's your girl, Eden Barbarella.
And this is a brand new episode of Dirty Talk.
Y'all thought we was gone, but we are back with a jump off, okay?
It's a hiatus.
It's a hiatus. We had a lot of life. What did you say?
Anuses.
Anuses, yes.
Not anuses. Anuses.
Well, I mean,
I don't know what that is.
I didn't have no anuses, unfortunately. Your girl has still been celibate since the last time we talked, y'all.
Sexually dormant.
Yes, pretty much. Cobwebs, cue the spiders. Halloween is coming up. It's quickly
creaky
approaching.
Noises, creaky wood floor.
And your girl Mikey is booed up like LMA. Happily,
with
girl.
A smile on my face.
Yes.
And a pitter patter in my heart.
This is over a year, right?
It's a year and like 3 months.
So how does it feel to be like in that next stage? It's like after the honeymoon. Shout out to Sabrina Carpenter. She has a cool song that mentions that. But it's like, how do you feel?
It's weird because I feel like because of how COVID came in right at the beginning of our relationship, we didn't really get that true like honeymoon phase. It was still felt very much like testing the waters and figuring out the other person, and I don't think we've left the honeymoon phase. Ours started late, so I think we're still very much in the middle of it, and I'm very happy. Like, people ask us all the time, oh, what about marriage? What about marriage? And it's like, well, why do we have to think that far ahead?
Right.
Like, I don't know what I want for dinner, and that's the next task on the to-do list. So let's worry about that first before we think about what's happening a year, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years from now,
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I think that's the one thing that COVID or the whole quarantine taught me is to just like focus on the moment. Everybody is always trying to fast forward 5, 10, 15 years from now. And it's like Mikey just said, you don't even know what you're about to eat for dinner. Think about how that wonderful dinner is going to be so savory and yummy instead of thinking about like 15 years from now, because we have so much life to live now that we are free, girl. Oh my gosh.
Waxed and vaxxed.
Waxed and vaxxed. Vaccinated queens here to give you what you need because, that lockdown, girl.
It was not cute. It was brutal.
It was really hard, like seeing all my friends out there like living their lives and doing their thing or whatever, and literally just being like shut off from the world. And I'm like, what? Am I really doing the right thing here? Or
I know. I couldn't imagine. You're from Florida and just seeing they didn't give a fuck.
Everybody out at the beach. They had brunch every day. Because it was vacation to them because, like, I don't know. But I'm glad that LA is, a couple of things have started to open. I've been seeing you've been out on your little dates and doing your things and stuff like that. It's so refreshing, though, to see, like, my friends doing that, though. Like, I've been waiting for this moment for us to, like, just go out and, like, live for so long. So
I can't wait to go to a club and just, like, I realize that, like, it's not my lifestyle anymore. Like, that's not what my idea of fun. But, like, just to be around that many people and, like, the excitement of, like, being around other people where it's their first time out in a really long time.
A long ass time.
So it's going to be, like, the energy is going to be really great. And I don't want to miss out on experiencing that energy with other people, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. So what song is going to get you on the dance floor? Well, there we go. Okay, Gaga. What are you thinking about this remix album for, what was it, Born This Way?
So I know that there was there's been a Chromatica remix album in the works for some time. I did not know that there was going to be a Born This Way remix album, which I am equally excited about. There's a hoodie on the website that I was thinking about purchasing, but I'm like, do I really need another hoodie? We're about to go into the summer season. I've got like 50 of them already. I'm excited. It does feel weird, though, like a 10-year anniversary for it, but it doesn't feel like it was that
10
long
years
ago.
Yeah.
Because
I was doing like dance covers and stuff like that to Government Hooker, and I was like, wait, that means that was 10 years ago? So your girl is old.
It's wild to think about, but it's like I guess it makes sense because, you know, people can't tour right now. Artists don't make money from sales of their songs anymore. So the only way they can, I guess, turn a profit or have income is through these celebratory merch collections. You know, I get really whack about my sense of style, but I'm like, you know what? Like, who cares if I'm in another freaking Britney Spears sweater? We have people out there every day that are advertising like Gucci. I'm like, it's literally no different. This is like a name brand, you know, like.
And you're representing, like, at my job, we're starting to get into vintage, and then I didn't understand the whole concept about it, but the whole point of having those rap tees and those artist tees is to rep that brand at the end of the day. And it is the same thing as Abercrombie or Gucci or whatever. It's all about repping. So I commend you. Go get your merch, support, do what you got to do.
Exactly. And I'm like, exactly. It's the support thing. It's all of that.
Yeah, I love that. Speaking of other artists with merch, shout out to our girl JoJo. JoJo got runner-up on The Masked Singer. She lost to Nick Lachey, which y'all already know listening how I feel about that, so I'm going to keep things positive, and yeah. But she just dropped some new merch too. She got a new little bob cut on her shirt, and I was like, okay, girl, I might pull up in your store and do a little pre-order. Who knows?
Watching, you know, what happened and how she's been able to reclaim her power and her artistry is something that just does not happen. It's really like a once in a lifetime thing that we're witnessing. And it sucks because, you know, she could have been like the Ariana Grande of her generation. Right. And she missed out on that.
I always thought it was weird when she was like opening up for Fifth Harmony. And I'm like, why is JoJo opening up for Fifth Harmony? Like, JoJo inspired all the girls in Fifth Harmony to be singers, you know what I mean?
She can out-sing all of them.
Right.
I guarantee you more people know JoJo songs than they know Fifth Harmony songs.
At the Fifth Harmony concert.
At the Fifth Harmony. And I say that as a Fifth Harmony
yeah,
stan,
we used to stand those girls, so we say that. But all in all, shout out to JoJo. We love everybody coming back. Everybody's giving love to Taylor Swift for doing this whole re-record of her albums and stuff like that. JoJo was the one that actually did that first. So again, that's like another thing that I want people to like give credit, right? Like give her flowers now before it's too late. Like we always do. We wait until everybody passes away. And we're like, oh no, they were so wonderful, blah, blah, blah. No, you need to be up in their Instagram comments right now, commenting, showing love, buying their merch, going to their new announced tour dates. Everybody going on tour and within like the next month. Girl, the concerts are going to be so lit.
Let me get a loan.
Pretty much, you know, $20K too, because I'm not doing no nosebleeders either. That is one quarantine pact I made.
Exclusive limit.
Yeah, girl. Right.
I want the VIP shopping experience.
Absolutely. We were robbed of 15 months of concerts.
And I'm trying to think of when was the last like musical experience I had before lockdown. And I think it was Lee's show at the Peppermint Club.
Okay, that was a couple
December
months before.
2019,
yeah.
I know.
Wow. Okay.
That was a year and a half ago.
Girl.
I know.
Okay, well, we need to go align. Yeah, we're going to start a Dirty Talk group chat. Everybody, give us some recommendations of shows that we need to go. I see Jonas Brothers, everybody, all these festivals are coming back. There's so many people ready to cash in. Did you hear Pussycat Dolls are doing a residency in Las Vegas?
I did not.
Girl,
what?
Yes. I'm telling you, the world is, we're not ready. So we got to get outfits. We got to get flights. The loan first.
Usher is doing one. Katy Perry's doing one.
It's like our generation of like artists that we kind of grew up with. So I'm into it because they might be outdated or whatever, but that's still the music that I still listen to. So.
Exactly. It's like it's ageless, you know, it's timeless. A bop is a bop regardless of the decade, you know? So
hopefully our girl, Brittany, will come back with this.
I'm lighting candles. I'm saying a prayer. I'm talking to Witch Talk.
Okay, so Brittany, we got you, girl. I want to shout out one cool other celeb for our Freak of the Week. This has been quite the journey for this particular individual, but their most recent post really inspired me to continue living my truth. Shout out to Elliot Page, a wonderful, famous star that everybody has known for a while now, who is now living their truth at its peak. Is out there for a hot boy summer. He had his abs all out.
On display.
All out, girl. And then talking about the cute little swim trunks, I'm just like, this is what I need. I'm tired of seeing everybody sad, crying, all that stuff. Like, we're all going through that. I would love for our influencers and our celebrities and stuff like that to really be out there and living their truths, because that's going to be the catalyst for us as consumers to be like, hey, everything's going to be okay, cool. I'm going to be able to have a smile on my face like that too. You know what I mean? So that was just really refreshing to see. I was like, you better slay.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. And I'm really curious to see how they're going to rework that in the Umbrella Academy, because it's been causing, I've been reading the comments. I be seeing how slick y'all think y'all be. Well, we gonna figure it out, and they're gonna do it cute and clever. So yeah, but I'm here for the visibility. Exactly. I'm here for everybody asking questions. Yep, go ahead, research it, figure it out, but it's here to stay. And so many LGBTQ queer people are being booked and blessed in 2021, and I just can't wait to see it explode even more and more.
Just
and more.
Keep it going.
Yes,
keep it going. Keep that same energy throughout the rest of however long Earth is going to be around.
Absolutely. And the thing that we've been here for, since the beginning of time, just like every other person, because we're human beings just like everybody else. But it's just interesting that I feel like my whole life people have tried to like make it seem as if like queerness was a new thing, and it just is like that's not the truth. It's been around not just as long as like all the other stories that y'all have heard about in history. It's like queer people have existed throughout all of that. So you can't just like erase it and then pretend like, oh, we can't accept this. You just have chosen not to accept it for
ding 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 ding
centuries and centuries and centuries.
To accept it.
Right.
But perceived it as being weird, and it's like, okay, but no, maybe you're weird, because like, why are you going to put yourself in such confines and limit your ability to express yourself? That's whack.
Or why you nosy and being in people's business? Get out of bedroom. Why you so curious about what we're doing behind closed doors? Unless you want to join in, which
you probably
the more the merrier.
Take a look at us.
We bad.
Yeah,
we bad.
Why wouldn't you want a piece of this? Take a bite.
Love it.
No, I was thinking about that because I was like, I was getting bored of my hair, and I was like, what if I were to just start wearing like wigs? Like, there's literally nothing stopping me from just
absolutely not
throwing on a wig and it being like who I am that day. But I don't have any wigs.
That's something fun that we can like work towards. It's like breaking down those preconditioned vibes that we've had, that those things are not allowed, and then just starting to randomly implement them into your new normal. And then you're just going to be like, whoa, this kind of feels good, or I like this, or I like wearing my booty shorts, or I like doing this, or whatever. Just like all those things that you just thought about all the time, y'all. Just try it once.
There's nothing stopping you.
Nothing holding you back. And if your parents, if your family don't like it, oh well, they'll be all right. If your
why does it bother? What's the big deal?
Girl, there's so many things that bother people that I question. I'm like,
but it's like and I sit there and I'm like, my brain gets fried because I'm like, okay, I get that you think it's a big deal, but explain to me, walk me through the thought process on why it's such a big deal. Yeah. Oh, because men aren't supposed to act like that. Okay, well, why aren't men supposed to act like that? That's just not natural. Okay, so then what is natural? Explain to me. Walk me through it. Yeah. Get me from point A to point B, please, because I would love to go on that journey with you. And they can't ever.
Never. There's never. It always gets up to like 3 steps in the conversation and they hit a wall.
Yeah.
And then it's just that kind of like that stare down contest. Like, okay, so where are we going to go from here? But what I used to do is I used to just kind of walk away from the situation. And then these people think that they had the upper hand because I walked away. And it's like, no, it's that you didn't have anything else to say that could prove to me the very point that Mikey is trying to discuss here. So there's no point of me wasting my energy on you. But like, y'all got to do more, like better with how you're coming at us, because the queer kids, especially these Gen Zs, they're not ones to play with y'all. They don't play the games that we used to play. I used to be a little scaredy cat, and when I was a teenager and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. These kids now, they know their research and they really know who they are. You know what I mean? So you gotta, if you don't like us, oh well, number one.
Exactly.
But number two, get ready for a debate. Get ready for energy. We're gonna match energy. If you're gonna come at us a certain way, we're not scared. We're not hiding. We're not doing like the stuff that how it used to be. I don't see it anymore. We're here.
Speaking of matching energy, people do not like when you match their energy.
Ooh, girl, we might have to have a whole separate episode about that.
Absolutely not.
Ooh, they be so shook.
So a couple weeks ago, I was at work and this lady came in and was like, I'm here to pick up this order. And I was like, oh, I don't have anything. I'm so sorry. So one of two things could have happened. You placed the order at the wrong store, or the order was never finalized, which that happens a lot. So she was like, it should be here. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, it's not. If you want to tell me what you ordered, I will make it for you. So she stepped away. She calls someone, I'm assuming whoever it is that placed the order. And she goes, I'm here. And the gentleman behind the counter is being so rude. And I stopped what I was doing. I was like, ma'am, we do not have your order. Like, what do you want me to do about it? And she's like, why are you being rude to me? I'm like, you're telling somebody on the other line that I'm a liar. And I did nothing to deserve that. So I'm trying to help you now. And you didn't tell that part. You're spreading like lies about my name. And I will not stand for it. She's like, what's your name? I'm like, it's Michael. If you want, I can give you the number to corporate.
Ooh.
And she's like, I will call them myself. And then she stormed out. And I was like, you won't do shit.
Right. They ain't gonna do nothing either. But come on, Mikey.
And I was like, no.
That don't sound very Mikey-ish.
No,
I like
know.
that.
I was like, you're not going to lie about me.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to tell someone something that's not true about what is happening.
That's
because
so
I
crazy.
guarantee you, if you were to go and look at that woman's phone, she never placed the order. I'm like,
right.
How are you going to tell me someone that does this for 8 hours a day for the last 8 years that I'm wrong?
I'm
And she was shook when I called her out too.
I'm sure, because this is the thing. This is why they're so shook to begin with, is because they're not used to people doing that. They're used to just being a powerhouse and like dominating energy, and then people just giving them whatever they want or whatever. But you're so right on the aspect of you're not going to like manipulate a situation and leave out half of the story. And that half of the story is what validates you. You know what I mean? People do that all the time, and then we'll talk about you and leave out so many parts. But that's the issue, because then those fragments are what people perceive of you without getting to know you to begin with. So then what if she told another customer or a friend, and then they started spreading rumors? This is all hypothetical. Yeah. Spreading rumors all around town that, oh, that is the worst Starbucks ever, just because her ass didn't even place the order correctly. So all that spawned, all this extra drama spawned off just because she didn't do what she was supposed to do. That's not fair. Because she was
arrogant and we didn't want to check. It's like,
right.
There's nothing wrong. It's, someone that lives under constant fear of like impending doom. Nothing terrible is going to happen if you look at your phone and realize that you did not place the order, or that you were at the wrong store. I offered to remake it for you and give you whatever it is you want before you started being rude and nasty.
Case closed. That should have been the end of it, and we would keep our day pushing,
And I told someone else, they're like, the drink was made wrong, and they're like, I don't want it anymore. I'm like, can I get you anything else? And they're like, no, I need to speak to a manager. I was like, well, I'm the person in charge. Do you want a refund? And like, no, the money doesn't matter. And then I was like, okay, so then what do you want? You don't want me to remake it. You don't want your money back, and you don't want something new. What is it that you want? And they're like, what's with the attitude? I'm like, I'm just trying to help you. Like, if it comes off that way, I'm so sorry, but like, I've got other things that I've got to do.
Right, because we got a day to get. That's another thing that I don't think people be processing, girl. That they're not the only customer. Or like the only.
People are so oblivious. They're literally in their own world. They will sit there and like not realize that the line is piling up and like start calling everybody in their Rolodex, asking them what they want. The thing that bugs me is like, oh, I forgot my wallet. And then they've got to go out to the car to go grab it and walk. I'm like, what? No, how? What?
Please, just wait. They probably don't even say that. They probably just go, oh, wait a minute, go.
Exactly. They're like mid-sentence, like, I got to go get my car from mom. And then it was like, oh. And then the next person comes up because they don't know that I'm in the middle. And then so the line clears and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I can't take your order because I'm in the middle of a transaction. She left. It's like,
hopefully we don't have crazy folks like this. Well, we probably will be, since everybody is out and about in Los Angeles now that quarantine is kind of almost over. I feel like most of the people are getting vaccinated from what I hear, at least like in my friend group and my work group and whatnot. But yeah, just be safe and hope that these crazy people that are all out and about don't keep trying it.
And I want to blame it on like people being just having always been like that. But also I think part of it is when you give people the benefit of the doubt, they've been locked up. They're coming back into society for the first time. They forgot how to act. They forgot what's normal or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And they have all this like stress that they don't know how to vocalize or process, and it just comes out in the worst way.
I just feel awkward like when I'm going out to eat and stuff with friends now, because I'm like, I forgot how to do this. Like,
It's
I don't know, they're like pulling out the it's like little things like you would think would be so normal, but I'm like, I haven't been social like this in so long.
Have
and
you had to
it's
sit
like
outside and
relearning. Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
The first time I
and
did
I'm
it.
like, but then I'm like seeing people like walking by on the sidewalk. So then I'm like, how is this like a safety measure? Because like we're interacting with people that are not patrons of the restaurant, but they still are in the vicinity and they could be sick. I don't know, but I get it. It's a capitalist society. They need everybody to get out there to spend this money and make this money so all the rich white men can make their money, which is fine. Everybody just got to be safe.
But what is safe? What is safe?
So tell me about, now that we're breaking free like High School Musical, have you been like experiencing any new feelings or anything like that? Or like what's just been going on since it's been a while that we've caught up and chit-chatted?
So I think for me, when lockdown first started, I enjoyed it. I got time off. I was holed up in my room. I was like, this is great. I've never, as an adult, had that much time where I've been able to like completely stop. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is wonderful. And then I went back to work, and I think I got a good end of the deal because yes, I'm having to be customer facing, but I wasn't scared of COVID for whatever reason. I was more worried about passing it on to someone, but I'm like, I'm safe. I'm washing my hands, I'm wearing my mask, keeping my distance. But it was also a way to socialize, so I didn't go completely crazy.
Yeah.
And that's something that most people don't have. They're working from home when you don't see anybody ever.
Never. I live my life via Zoom now, which is so weird. I actually just got to meet some of my friends for the first time, and we've known each other for a year, but it was our first time meeting in person because we've just been on the computer like all the time. So it feels weird again, like meeting humans.
And it's being in like a physical space.
Yeah. We've literally been like almost robots or AI for a little bit.
That's what, like being in like Sims or something like that.
Girl, I'm about to go buy me The Sims. I already done made it one of my little wish lists to do things like that's one of the things I did during quarantine. It's like, what do you want to do? Like, I always complain that like I never have free time because I'm always working, mm-hmm. et cetera, et cetera. But then when I do get the free time, because I don't really know what my interests are, then I end up just laying in bed and like catching up on Teen Mom. And those days are definitely necessary. Kiefer,
Janelle.
That lady. She is trying to get Barbara, actually, y'all need to see. It's a vibe. Teen Mom is a vibe, but I also would love to like learn how to like longboard or like rock climbing or like doing something that's just like I've always wanted to do when I was a kid, and when I was an adult and I get to do go-kart racing all the time, I want to do it. So I need to like do those things now, and I'm hoping I can do it.
So that's a really good transition, because at first during quarantine I was fine, but now I'm kind of like I'm hit that wall where I'm realizing patterns that I fall into. And one of the things is trying to find a hobby or something to fulfill my time when I'm off that isn't mind numbing or wasteful of my existence. And stimulating, yeah. But that also like feeds into what I'm naturally good at. I find something.
OnlyFans?
That's enough.
Sorry, let me not interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I mean, yeah, but like, it's just another thing to update, you know?
True, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm hardly active on my Instagram except my stories, because I can just like quick quick post. And it's like, can't do that with like dick pics, you know? So my new thing is I want to break this pattern and habit that I have of investing money into a hobby or activity and being done with it in a week, because that's not sustainable.
Never.
I've got bills to pay, and it's getting really tight, and I had a whole episode for like the last 2 weeks where I've just kind of been in a funk, and so I'm trying to pull myself out of that.
A lot of the universe is like hitting all at once, and it's like a lot of realities are also like forming. But I do feel that you are so creative and so like ambitious with some of your goals that I do feel like one day you're just gonna sit down and it's just all gonna like flood out, and you're just gonna be like, OMG, like, yes, finally.
That's the moment I've been waiting for. Is like, I don't have the fire or the ignition within me to start something, but
once
you know,
as
soon as like you mention something and I'm like, what about this? What about that?
Right.
Let's explore this.
Mikey Mikey is literally Alice in Alice in Wonderland. He can go down the rabbit hole, but it's so great because the ideas are so unique. Like that's another thing. We've literally lived in like an influencer space where people are copy and paste. They do the same stuff over and over and over and over again. So it's so refreshing to like have a partner that like thinks outside the box, because I feel like so many people can't do that here in Los Angeles. They just do what they think is cool instead of like doing what's in their heart. So I think what needs with you is it's like if you maybe get out of the city per se. Maybe I know you've been on a couple of vacations and whatnot, but you might just need like a little like stimulation from like somewhere else outside of here, and then you're just gonna come back and be like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Yeah.
And that, I mean, I think that's one of the things that I'm realizing about myself is not that I'm not someone that can stand on their own, but I think every part of me that people like or that I like about myself is further enhanced when I'm able to play off of someone else.
Vibes.
Yeah.
See, that's like me. I always love working in group settings because I always know when you like multiply the power, it makes sense. And then like the things that like people can't operate in their strengths, you know what I mean? Because if something that you're not good at, if somebody else is good at that, then you don't have to worry about that part that you're not good at because someone is so good at it. And then you just all shine. People don't understand that concept a lot of the times. I'm like, but this is the whole point. It's like it's so much more efficient. It's streamlined. Like everybody gets to do what they do best. I think we live in like a society where people value like the front man position, but they don't realize that every part of the puzzle is technically the front man, because without one piece, you're never going to get the result that you want. So hell yeah, girl. We're going to get... Let's get some art classes. I want to do like the naked painting. Have you been seeing that?
I have.
I want to do that.
So the thing that my sister and her friends are like really into right now are the wine and paint nights. They do them by themselves. They follow like a prompt on YouTube, and like I thought it would be fun, but like it was anxiety inducing because I wasn't able to get like the right shade of pink that I wanted for the background. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is, I set myself to such high standards.
No, Mikey.
That like,
well, yeah, but no.
I know are outside of like my skill set. Like I'm automatically setting myself up to fail.
Yeah. But that might go back to like maybe your childhood. Like maybe like always having like
probably
crazy expectations and like trying to set yourself up to look fit. I don't know, because I think I have that habit of that too. So like, why do we do that?
Distinct memory. I was in 4th grade. We were going to this art museum, and they told us that we're going to be able to make something out of clay. And in my head, the night before, I was like, I want to make a bald eagle. And in my head, I thought it would look like the thing on top of the flag. And that's
now you get me scared.
Yeah, no, like 7 years old, thinking I can make a bald eagle like replica, and then I show up and I just stuck 3 balls of clay together and put like pebbles on it, and I was like, this is the best that I can do. And like my mom still has it, but like I look at it and I still have like such a resentment against it. I'm like, you're so ugly. You didn't come out how I want. And this is like 20 years later. But I'm like, ugh.
I love that you still hold on to it. Don't ever let that go. That can always be a reminder. This is where I started. And this is where I am right now.
I guarantee you, if I were to make that eagle again right now, it would look no better.
So we about to have arts and crafts with Dirty Talk.
I would be down.
Sucking dick. We giving y'all arts and knowledge based.
We're gonna make a bird feeder.
I think being celibate for 15 months gave me the freedom to be able to think to do stuff like that. I think my whole life I've always been focused on, am I ever going to get a partner that's committed to me, or am I going to be able to hook up, or yada, yada, yada. Always so focused on like
the next
going out, right? Instead of coming within and really having a conversation with Eden Barbarella and being like, what's good, girl? Like, what do you, like I was saying earlier, what do you like to do? What is your life? Mm-hmm. And so when you're like forced into that space, which is what COVID did, I really started figuring out, like, I do like fashion. I do like colors. I do like all of these things. And I was kind of worried now when we were opening back up, and I am starting to get these frequent texts for these dick appointments. Yes. What is my spirit going to be? And I have to say that I have it's not that I don't have a desire to see these amazing folks, but I still have more of a desire to like fulfill me first, like my interests. And so that makes me happy that I'm not going to, that's maturity, at least in my opinion, I feel. Yeah. It's like, I'm not going to regress back to a stage that I used to be in. I'm moving forward. And then hopefully maybe I'll be able to attract someone in this like new territory that kind of understands that, because I do feel a lot of people, which is something that we're probably going to talk about in an upcoming episode. There are a lot of free spirits now appearing in Los Angeles that are into the queer vibes, but they're in an exploratory stage. Mm-hmm. That kind of would have been cute for me like 2 years ago. Yep. Right now, I kind of know who I am. I know what I like or whatever. I want whoever gonna be with me to match that.
Because I can only imagine like you're still in the discovery phase, and you're like, okay, finally, I'm gonna make my big step out, and then like you go meet one of these people, and it just goes really wrong, and so then you're gonna automatically assume that it's your new how you're presenting yourself and how you're exploring your identity is going to be affected by it.
Absolutely, Mikey gets it. I hope y'all listening are getting it too. Make sure to love on yourself, prioritize yourself, and prioritize your needs. Once those are met, you can live the life that you desire, and then that's how you're going to be able to attract someone that's on that same wavelength.
If you even want to attract someone.
Or that too, because that's another thing too. This is a very new time for me where I'm fine being alone. Like, it's like, what?
And that's the thing is, I think people jump into relationships because they don't know how to be alone. And it's COVID or lockdown and quarantine have forced people to be alone and to self-reflect, and it's an opportune time for growth as a society.
Absolutely.
Or even like when you say you need someone, it doesn't even mean romantic. Like sometimes one of my things that I don't like is when like coworkers are kind of like off-putting and like, I'm here to make not friends, but like, why can't we be friends?
Right, exactly. But if it's like, just bring good energy, and all the vibes or situations that you're going to be in will be something worth it. You know what I mean? Even if it's work, and it might be a job that you don't like. But if the people that are there with you, if all y'all align and y'all turned up, y'all got the good playlist going, y'all know what y'all like, it makes those experiences so much more better instead of being in a miserable experience and then being closed off from others. You know what I mean? I used to do that a lot as well because I always felt like anxiety, like people were going to judge me or whatnot or whatever. Oh, well, if they judge you, then that's a very clear indicator that you don't need to be around them. And it makes things a lot easier instead of living in that what if fantasy land. Like, this is why I'm so excited for like our upcoming like summer and stuff like that, because it's like I get to live in the right perspective.
You get to make you get to make a proper debut.
So, are we going to the conquer room? What's going to be our turn up spot? What's going to be the I was gonna say skinnies when I know you.
No, I don't hate skinnies.
Oh, you don't?
I don't. No, I like sitting on the couch, and I like that one girl, the MC with the hat. She's my favorite. She looks like a.
He said, "I like sitting on the couch." Where's a place that we can go where you're gonna be turned up?
I don't like a dress code, and that's really what it comes down to. I don't want to.
Yeah,
have to
Mikey
put on
is a fan of a tanky.
A sleeveless. How many times have I been told you can't come in dressed like that?
A sleeveless hoodie.
A sleeveless hoodie. I love a short.
Yeah, a short. I always think of like a white, or like you used to wear those white cut off pants.
Yeah.
Cute. Okay, well, I'm in fantasy land. Mikey, let's go into our Dirty Bops. What are we listening to?
For me, this one's a little. I'm gonna hit you heavy. My Dirty Bop of the week is "When I Grow Up" by Garbage. I first heard it in the Big Daddy movie with what's his name? Adam Sandler.
Yes, and the Sprouse Brothers.
Playing into the sort of existential crisis that I've had for like the last 2 weeks. It's like you imagine what your life is gonna be like and what you're gonna do when you're grown up, and here I am. I'm about to be 33 and I still have no freaking clue and freaking idea. And I'm like, okay, well, if this is how it's going to be all the time, I'm just going to try to enjoy it and try not to think too much about it and figure it out one step at a time. And when I grow up, whenever that is, hopefully all of this will make sense.
I think that's the whole game of life. I literally think that's because if you look at everything that we go through, there are cycles. Mm-hmm. We react to certain things because we've been through them before and they trigger something in us, which is why we give the reaction in the first place. So I think that's what it is. It's like this go around, try something new. Instead of reacting the same way and feeling that same way, what if we just switch things up just a little bit? We might get like the same. It won't be the
that's
same.
I like that's exactly what I'm doing. Is you mentioned something about doing rock climbing and I'm like, I kind of want to do it on a rock climbing wall, and not taking things the same way as you used to. I'm like, if I'm going to change, I'm going to have to change how I react, change how I intake information, and the people around me.
Dropping the gems.
Like if I see a headline, I'm like, okay, I'm just not going to automatically assume that I know what it's talking about.
Like, do research.
Let me research it and figure out what the angle is on this headline. Like, what is the purpose of wording it this way? What is the purpose of this article? And that is kind of like, I never did that before. It was the stop and look back. I just would take everything for face value, and
yes,
you can't do that anymore.
Mikey is piercing through the layers, y'all. Before we were in like the first or second. Now you're like,
I'm
deep
telling
in.
you, man. Like, I know I keep texting crazy things when I have an edible, but I'm like, I see the light now.
Hey, well, maybe that would be another fun episode. We take some edibles and come chat with y'all. We can maybe phone some of y'all in. I'm switching up my Dirty Bop. I feel like after the conversation that we had, this song definitely needs to be the number one that I mentioned on our Collection 3. Zara Larsson just came out with an amazing album, but she has a song on there called Need Someone, and it definitely describes everything that we have been talking about in this episode to a nutshell. If you are happy with yourself, you won't need someone, but you will happily want someone. It's like the cherry on top of an already just amazing paradise. That person just complements everything that you already have. It's such a new space for me, and I don't know. That's just really nice to like there's no pressure to like trying to find something. Like, we've been in this society where they tell you like you have to find someone and you get married and get kids and have that. That's not life. No. That's not life at all. And now that I know like my interests and the stuff that I like, I'm definitely going to be able to attract people that fit that, and it's probably going to be the best relationships that I've ever had, friends wise, like romantically, all of that. So I'm super excited. Go check out that bop on our playlist, and shout out to Zara Larsson for still going for it, because there's so many pop girls out right now, and
my whole thing is I don't feel like Zara Larsson has had her moment.
Right.
I just feel like she's one of those people that's sort of constantly like just bubbling underneath the surface, but like everything that she's done has been like superb. Right.
Very quality music. So go check it out. We're super excited for the rest of our episodes. Make sure to tell a friend that Eden and Mikey are back in the game and ready to chat some
some more. I don't know.
Some dirty kikis. That's what's up.
Keep it cute.
So without further ado, here is our outro that we did in rehearse.
Keep your mind clean.
And keep your talk dirty.
We'll see you next week.
Holla.